Hi everyone, today we're going to do lesson 6 of unit D. We're going to be finding a y-intercept given 2 points. Question number 1 asks us to find the equation of the line. We can see that there are 2 points already drawn on the graph, and a right triangle has already been created for us as well. So we can label a rise of 1 and a run of 2. This means our slope is 1/2 or 1 over 2. So we know that the first part of our equation will be y equals 1/2 x plus, and then we need to find our y-intercept to know what comes next. We can look at the graph and see that the gray line is crossing the y-axis at the point 3 or 0, 3. So our y-intercept is 3, and we can put this at the end of our equation. So our equation for this line will be y equals 1/2 x plus 3. Question number 2 asks us to find the equation of the line that passes through these 2 points. This time the 2 points are 2, 4 and 3, 2. We can find the slope because we can see that the rise is going to be -2 and the run is going to be 1. So we'll have a slope of -2 over 1, or just -2. The y-intercept's a little trickier to find with this graph though, because if we try to extend the line back towards the y-axis, we'll run out of space on the graph before we're able to find where the line crosses the y-axis. We can use a table to help us with this though. So if we create a table of values and we put the 2 points, 2, 4, and 3, 2 in our table, we can use that to count backwards to find out where the y-intercept will be. The y-intercept is the same idea as what we used to do with the initial value. So we need to find where the x value is 0 and look at what's next door to it. So we can count back up. We can see that the x's are counting up by 1s. So if we extend back, we can put the 1 and 0 in place in our table. And then we can use what we know about the rise of being -2 to backtrack until we get to 0 in our x column. So we'll have 6 and 8. And the 8 is next to the 0, so that makes the 8 our y-intercept. 0, 8 is where the line would cross the y-axis if we were able to see it extended all the way on the graph. This means that our equation is y equals -2x, that's our slope, plus 8. That's our y-intercept. Question number 3 asks us to find the equation of the line using a table. So we'll start with our 2 points, 4, 7, and 6, 1 in our table, and we'll then look at what our slope would be. So we can see that the x values are increasing by 2. So we can back this up until we would find 0 in our x column, and then we'll look at our rise, which is -6. We can see that because that's the difference between 7 and 1. It's going down by 6. So we can backtrack this to know that if we started at 13 and took away 6, we'd get to 7. And if we started at 19 and took away 6, we would get to 13. This means that we have a rise of -6 and a run of 2, or a slope of -3. We can put that into our equation, y equals -3x, and we can see that our y-intercept is where 0 is in the x column, and what's next to it is our y-intercept of 19. So 19 will be the last part of our y equals mx plus b equation. We'll put that in the place of b. So we'll have y equals -3x plus 19. Question number 4 asks us to do the same question except use algebra. We already know the slope to be -3 from our table. So we have y equals -3x plus b, and we can use one of our points to find the b value. Let's use 6, 1. The 6 is your x value and the y is the 1. So we'll sub in 1 equals -3, that was our slope, times 6, that's our x value, plus b. Now we can simplify the -3 times 6 to be -18. We'll need to move that -18 across the equal sign to isolate b, and in doing so the -18 will turn to +18. This will leave us with 19 on the left-hand side and b on the right-hand side. So we have found our b value for our y equals mx plus b equation. So it will be y equals -3x plus 19, which is confirming what we found when we did it in the table for question number 3. Question number 5 asks us to determine the equation of the line. We won't be able to use a grid for this question because we won't be able to find the exact value where the line, if we extended it, would cross or meet the y-axis. So let's put it in a table instead. If we set up our table with our x's and y's, we'll have 20 and 18 as one of our points, and 24 and 21 as our second point. We can find the rise on the right-hand side, or the y column, to be an increase of 3, and we can find the run, or the increase or change in the x column, to be 4. This means we have a slope of rise over run, or 3 over 4. Let's put that into our equation y equals mx plus b. It'll be y equals 3/4 x plus b. We can sub in one of our points. Let's use the second point. So the 24 will go in the place of the x in our equation, and the 21 will go in the place of the y in our equation. This means we'll have 21 equals 3 over 4 times 24, which we can make 24 over 1. Then we can use what we know about multiplying fractions to multiply the numerators together. 3 times 24 will give us 72, and we'll multiply the denominators together. 4 times 1 will give us 4. We can simplify 72 over 4 to be 18. This means we'll have 21 equals 18 plus b. We'll need to move that 18 across the equal sign to isolate b, which will make it 21 minus 18, or 3. Now that we know that b is equal to 3, we can sub it into our y equals mx plus b along with our slope to get y equals 3/4 x plus 3. And that's our equation. Good luck finding equations using tables and graphs and algebra.